it was kind of scary to see all this for a child my age, but I understood everything that was going on because they explained it so well. And
unlike they do nowadays.
I would hear in some of these, you would hear the church bells ringing. And I thought that the church bells ringing meant that the airplanes were coming over, take cover because we're going to get bombed. But many years later, I had a friend, I still have her, who was a German who came over from Germany and told us about her experiences in the war. And her father was, he was in the army. He was like one of the higher ups in the army.
Okay.
But,
like a commander?
Yeah, some kind of a commander. So he wasn't ever home. She didn't see him much when she was young. But she told us how they would come over and drop the bombs, and she couldn't understand why they were dropping bombs because she didn't know about the rest of the war except that her father was out fighting. And one time the sirens went off, and the people who stayed in the apartments that they had, there were lots of high-rise apartments, got bombed and got killed. But her mother took her and her little brother, and they ran out into the street, and they were running by all these houses and apartments that were on fire, and the people were stuck inside and they couldn't get out. And they finally ran to the park, and in the park there was a lake. So they jumped into the lake and ducked down, and they were saved.
Wow.
Of course, the best place to hide from an explosion is water.
Yes, especially in a park, because they're not going to be bombing the park. And
unless it has a military base under it.
Well, it didn't. It was just a plain old park. Yeah. And so she told me that when everything was okay to come back out, the church bells would ring, and that's what it meant. And I didn't know that at the time, but I know that now because she told me.
I mean, it would make sense for the church bells to ring if they didn't have air raid sirens, but
well, they had air raid sirens that went off too.
If it was in a country that didn't have air raid sirens.
Oh, well, this country, Germany, certainly had air raid sirens.
Yeah.
And and they would go off when they knew that the Allies were coming in the planes.